guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, where today I am going to show you how to create the Almond Ridge Stitch. So I absolutely love this stitch. I've used it on quite a few things. Most recently, there's my baby, guys. I am improvising today. Most recently, I used it on my Modern Retro Throw. Check this out. It is gorgeous. It is soft. It is squishy. Hold on. Come on. Oh! Okay, so this blanket is my new favorite blanket. Look at it. Oh my gosh. It is so drapey and so soft, and the stitches are so much fun. There's so much sling to this blanket. Look at how nice and light and airy it is. What's the matter? All right, guys, I just wanted to show it to you all in its beautiful stripy glory, and let's get on over to the tutorial.
All right, friends, so let's jump right into today's tutorial to learn how to create the almond stitch for my Modern Retro Throw. So for the Modern Retro Throw, what you will need is 6 skeins of Lion Brand's Color Theory in whichever color you choose. My main color that I chose for this pattern is called Canyon. It's this beautiful, beautiful red. You will need 6 skeins of this color. You will need 1 skein of each other color that you choose. For the Modern Retro Throw, I used 1 skein of Dijon, 1 skein of Caper, and 1 skein of Satellite. For this pattern, I specified to use a 7mm crochet hook, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I am using a 6mm because for the life of me, I cannot find my 7. If I had to guess, it's probably in a box of Legos in the boys' room. For today's tutorial, I'm only going to be making a small swatch for you guys so that you can just see the pattern repeat. I will also show you how we change colors. Okay, so I have chained a total of 21 stitches. This repeat is worked in multiples of 8 plus 4, but your starting chain has to be a multiple of 8 plus 5. So the repeat itself is over 8 plus 4 stitches, but the starting chain, you need that additional stitch because we have to begin working in the second chain from the hook. So that's why the multiple to start with is 8 plus 5. So here I have a chain of 21, and what I'm going to do is follow the row 1 instructions, which says to slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. So if you look back here, I'm going to be working in the back bumps because I want to keep this nice part of the stitch on the bottom edge of my blanket. So starting in the second chain from the hook, I'm going to count over 1, 2, and I'm going to slip stitch by inserting my hook, yarning over, pulling through that back bump, and then pulling through the loop on my hook to create my first slip stitch. I am then going to do that in each of the next 3 chain stitches. And then I'm going to half double crochet in each of the next 4 back bumps of my starting chain. Slip stitch in each of the next 4 back bumps of my starting chain. Half double crochet in each of the next 4 back bumps of your starting chain. And then slip stitch in the final 4 back bumps of your starting chain. So you slip stitch in your final 4, and that is going to create row 1. And what you can see right here is what you have is you have 4 slip stitches, 4 half double crochet, so that's your 8. You have another 4 slip stitches and another 4 half double crochet for another set of 8, and then you have 4. And what that does is it makes it so that you start and end the same, which is why this stitch is a multiple of 8 plus 4. Moving on to row 2, what we will do is chain 1, turn, and now what we will be doing is every stitch that we create, we are going to be doing in the back loop. So no matter which direction you are going in, you're always going to be working in the back loop throughout the whole pattern from here on forward. So we've chained 1, and for row 2, we need to slip stitch in the back loop of the first slip stitch. slip stitch in the back loop of the next, slip stitch in the back loop of the next, and then slip stitch in the back loop of the next. So you are placing a slip stitch in each of the first 4 slip stitches from your previous row. Then you will reach your 4 half double crochet of the previous row, and again you are going to half double crochet, but only working in the back loop in each of the next 4 stitches. Coming to your next set of 4 slip stitches, you are going to slip stitch using the back loop only in each of these next 4 stitches. Then when you reach your next 4 half double crochet, you again will half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches using the back loops only. And then when you reach your final 4 slip stitches, again you will slip stitch in each of these final 4 stitches using the back loops only. That will complete row 2, and what we will do now is we are going to chain 1 and turn to begin row 3. Row 3 changes a little bit in that what we will be doing is we are going to be working our stitches opposite. So what I mean by that is where we created slip stitches, we are going to place half double crochets, and where we placed half double crochets, we are going to be placing slip stitches. So in row 2, what we did is we placed our slip stitches in our slip stitches and our half double crochets in our half double crochets. Row 3, that is opposite. So we chained 1, and we are going to half double crochet in the back loop only of the first slip stitch from row 2. We will then half double crochet again in the next slip stitch using the back loop only, and do that in each of the next 2 for a total of 4 half double crochets using the back loop only. When we reach these 4 half double crochets, what we will do here is slip stitch in each of these next 4 stitches, again making sure only to use the back loops. When we reach this piece here with the slip stitches, we are going to half double crochet in each of the 4 stitches using the back loops only again. Slip stitch in each of the next 4 stitches using the back loop only. And then half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches using the back loop only. So now to begin row 4, we are going to chain 1 and turn. And now row 4, like row 2, we are going to be working the same stitches in the same stitches. So this one, we are not working opposite stitches. So chain 1, and because we just had half double crochets here, we are going to work half double crochets in these first 4 stitches using the back loop only. We are then going to slip stitch in the back loop only in each of the next 4 stitches, which were also slip stitches from the previous row. Half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches, which again were half double crochets in the previous row. And then we will slip stitch in each of the next 4 stitches using the back loop only, which were also slip stitches in the previous row. And now in our final 4 stitches, which were half double crochets, we are going to half double crochet using the back loop only in each of these last 4 stitches. So that completes row 4. Row 5, we are going to chain 1 and turn, and because we just had 2 sets of half double crochet, we are now going to be moving back to using the slip stitches. So chain 1 for row 5, and slip stitch in the back loop only of the first 4 stitches. Half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches using the back loop only. These 4 were slip stitches of the previous row. Slip stitch in each of the next 4 stitches using the back loop only. and then half double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches using the back loop only. You'll start to notice that by alternating these rows, what's beginning to happen is you're starting to see the almonds form. Using the back loops is what gives this ridged texture to it. You might see this stitch sometimes called the Almond Ridge Stitch. It's not always just the almond stitch, it is the Almond Ridge Stitch, and that's because you get these ridges by only working in the back loops. Now to begin row 6, we are going to chain 1, turn, and because this is our first set here of this almond, we are going to be working the same stitches in the same stitch. So for row 6, we chain 1, turn, and we slip stitch using the back loop only in the first 4 stitches. Half double crochet using the back loop only of each of the next 4 stitches. Slip stitch using the back loop only in each of the next 4 stitches. Half double crochet using the back loop only of these next 4 stitches. And then slip stitch using the back loop only in the last 4 stitches. That completes the pattern repeat. That is the first 6 rows of this pattern. The instructions will then tell you to repeat rows 3 through 6 to complete the entirety of the blanket. Make sure to reference the chart that is in the PDF as well as on my blog post for all of the color changes that happen on the Modern Retro Throw. Okay, so what I want to show you finally to help you complete this pattern is how it is that I change colors. So the next repeat that I would do would be a repeat of row 3. So if I was changing colors in the pattern, what I would do is instead of completing this last stitch, I would come in and I would partially complete the stitch. So this was row 6, so it would be a slip stitch. So I would insert my hook, yarn over, and then I would take the color that I would be adding in. I would place that over my hook like this, and then I would pull that slip stitch through. I then would drop the color that I was using, pick up my new color, yarn over, and create my chain 1. I then would turn, and my next row in this would be row 7, which is a repeat of row 3. So I would be beginning with a half double crochet. So I would yarn over, insert my hook into the back loop of this first slip stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through all of my loops. I then would continue and create my next 3 half double crochet using the back loop. And then after I have these stitches and I know that I'm not going to lose anything, I would come over here and I would cut the color that I changed from. Now that's going to leave me free so I don't have to worry about anything getting tangled up. And I would continue on my way in my row. Coming to the end of this row, where I am ending with a half double crochet, what I would do again if I was changing colors on a half double crochet row instead of a slip stitch row is again, I would partially create my stitch. So I would yarn over, insert my hook into the back loop, put my yarn over my hook, and then I would pick up the next color I would want to be using, put that over my hook, and pull through the loop, and then, oh gosh, getting a little tangled. Grab the color that I am changing to, yarn over, and pull through all of my loops. I would then chain 1, turn, and because this was my first set of half double crochet, this is now going to be row 8, which would be a repeat of row 4. So I'm going to half double crochet in the first stitch using the back loop only, and then half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches using the back loop only. And once I have a couple of stitches and I know that I'm secure, I would come over here and I would cut the color that I am changing from and then continue down my row. So that is how I do my color changes. Very simply, I just partially complete my last stitch and then I add in the new yarn, I do a few stitches, and then I cut. Now, when you go to weave all of these in, what I like to do is I like to tie a little bit of a knot. Okay, and then I will get my darning needle and I will weave it through its respective colors so that this way you don't see the ends in a color that you changed it to. All right, I hope that you found this video tutorial helpful. Sorry if there is any screeching in the background. The baby is currently playing with my ball winder and Swift and a whole bunch of crochet hooks and a very, very squeaky Paw Patrol toy. So I'm going to try my best to make sure I could pull out that background noise, but if you hear any of that, just know that that is what's going on back there. Please make sure to like and subscribe so that this way you never miss any of my free patterns, video tutorials, yarn reviews, and all around yarny goodness. Again, I appreciate all of you so much. Thank you for your time and enjoy making your modern retro throw.